Hello, Bl'Artagnan here with Eyes on the Prize, the Mayfair event Lufenia Plus fight. We're bringing a no BT, no synergy team featuring Firion, Arciella, and 9. Before we get too deep into it, be sure to hit that like button, slam that notification bell, ring that subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. I feel like I might have done that one wrong this time. Anyway, what do we got going on here? We got a lot of different pieces here for this GL exclusive Lufenia Plus fight. We got the Omo Camilla? Is that what they're called? I don't know, something like that. The big ugly Kadaj camels. They're back, and as always, they are kind of a pain. They have a lot of different pieces you have to account for, and I appreciate that. As you can see, they are break and delay immune, launch immune as well. So a lot of our conventional messing with the boss tactics will not be working here. Kind of funny that they would make a Zidane feature boss launch immune, but there you go. We got an orb that'll show up at 80%, which is actually rather complicated. It's -3 on player action, which is pretty scary. +1 per player healed when on an action, which is pretty cool, pretty handy. And +15 if you evade or delete an enemy turn. They actually have a number of guaranteed hits as well, and they got that scary recast where you gotta break them, otherwise they petrify you, they mess you up. And of course they have a lot of HP attacks, so there's a lot going on here. They're also immune to a number of debuffs, including freeze, paralysis type effects, and int brave down, which actually matters because their eye brave is humongous. So, what are we doing and why are we doing it? 9 is here because you have to bring a spear to this stage. We got an Abyss code, which is pretty dope. I'm about it, and I like 9, so he's here to help us out. He's keeping us safe, in addition to Arciella, who is kind of an interesting pick for this stage, a very strong pick for this stage. But they're immune to HP silence, so you'd be like, well, why you bring Arciella? The reason is because she checks the orb because she can heal the party, which is great, and her fantastic LD capacity break debuff prevents their massive brave gains that they get after their turns, as well as neutering most of their attacks, because their attacks have big brave gain components associated with them. So she's just tremendous here. Really should blue Arciella. She's just so good. Look at that. The 9 is here for spears, and to kind of complete the safety puzzle here, he also, of course, can spam heals with his what is not Primal Roar, the other one, is Whirling Lance and his Laser Lance attacks. Ooh, close one there. I don't know why that didn't kill, but I'll take it. And lastly, Firion, who's actually the piece of the puzzle that is going to help us not die to the orb here. Because Firion, instead of stabilizing the orb with just heals, we can actually boost the orb on boss turns with Firion's Trap. I think Maria also probably works for this. I don't know. I don't have Maria, so I've been seeing a lot of Maria runs, and I assume that's the reason. But you can see here, we're going to be basically stabilizing the orb for the most part, and thanks in large part to the fact that Firion's Trap heals on the off turn. So we got kind of little not puzzle, kind of like this is a bit of a Voltron kind of piece, where a Voltron situation where each of these 3 team members is really contributing a lot to help us deal with the fight. 9 is bringing the spear and defenses, Arciella is bringing kind of the additional defenses to complement 9, along with protecting the orb and damage Noras and good Arciella stuff. And Firion is boosting the orb's off-turn damage and just generally providing, more damage and heals. We're not halfway through the fight, and I've talked about basically all of the gist of it. Oh, they get their recast auto-charged at 80, 50, and 30%, so that's just something to watch out for. They also cleanse at 50%, including framed debuffs, which is kind of the classic Kadaj Camel thing to do now, isn't it? I don't know if you played his event, but they used to cleanse every 10%, and that was the worst! Luckily, the Lost Chapter, they made it only cleanse 50, I think, which is a lot more deal-with-able. Is that a word, deal-with-able? That feels like it's not a word. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and delete them with Ami Call. I brought some weird calls to this fight. For a Metatelian call, figuring I wasn't sure, I should say, if Firion actually could boost the orb with his trap, so I wanted to make sure I had some emergency buttons in case I needed to reset the orb at a pinch. So we have 9 and Prompto, not 9, we have a Metatelian and Prompto there. We can instantly delete them and go to +15 on them, as we just did, to get some breathing room, because I knew they were going to cleanse, and I wanted to make sure Capacity Break was on them. And Prompto was there in case I needed an emergency Starfall. I wasn't sure if I would, but I figured, why the heck not? Giving Firion a chance to dodge both of their attacks would keep us safe. Worth noting, recast guaranteed hit, so be careful about that. Can't just, dodge your way through it. The last call I brought was Cyan, because Cyan is busted as a call. It's about that. I might have gotten Firion paralyzed there, or petrified there. Wasn't paying attention to their brave. They regenerated their brave, and were not broken, and so they went ahead and petrified him. Sorry about that, Firion. Luckily, Firion's trap still goes off while he is petrified. So he is, even though he's not actually acting on his turn, he's still keeping the orb in check. I mean, so, it goes down by 3 there, and that's kind of a pain, but it's okay, because it goes up by another 3. So, thanks, Firion. Sorry about that, buddy. That was on me. That was a goof. Luckily, it only lasts for 2 turns. It's not an auto kill. Can't be cleansed, but it just kind of goes away for 2 turns. This was a big problem in the Kadaj event, because it was a very, very, very tight turn count, and so if you lost one of your characters for 2 turns, that was probably it, just in terms of turn count. But here, it's a lot more lenient. We're going to go ahead and summon now, because I realized, they have a quarter of their health left, we might as well go for the jugular. I was once again planning on saving the summon for if I needed to boost the orb. I went into this with this team not sure whether or not Firion would be able to get away with the traps taking up the orb. So, once again, summon and BT phases are another way you can get past the orb by boosting your way through it by healing during those things. I do like a lot of the design choices in this fight. The guaranteed hit plus to evade orb is really funny. It's obviously selling Freya and Kane's ability to jump and true dodge, but it also means you can't just bring a dodge character and be like, oh, I'm tanking the fight. You have to really think about kind of what's happening when. There we go. Thank you, 9. As you can see, even with Capacity Break, their Eye Brave is so huge and hard to debuff that they can just naturally Eye Brave regen to very scary HP amounts. Anyway, so we've about cleaned this up. Managed to balance our moves and whatnot, use the 9 LDs at the right times to keep us safe. Firion and Arciela kept their LD debuffs on them the whole time, and that kind of carried the fight. Other than that, it was just kind of generic C90 support level damage throwing out. You just kind of keep throwing out those, 3 HP attacks and attacks. And yeah, shoot through them. I was hearing people say, a couple of my friends were saying that they wish the fight had more health, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I feel like, I don't know, it felt like the amount of health was right. You can let me know in the comments below whether you feel like the fight needed more health, maybe less health, I don't know, maybe you're feeling like they're way tankier than I expected, which I think would be an unusual take, but hey, it's a free country, you can say what you want. Anyway, let's close this out with the 9EX Laser Lance not plus, Laser Lance minus, very sad. Anyway, there we have it, no BT, no synergy, woohoo, what a tough guy. Thank you for watching through to the end, I hope you enjoyed. I'm pretty sure BC Black Nero on YouTube did the same run as this, except I think he had Fury and BT, so shoutouts to Black Nero. Anyway, that'll be it. Adios.